It's the end of the year and it's not the time to slow down. Most people will, but you want a different outcome than most people, so you're willing to make some changes right now. There's a dream life that you aspire to have, and you understand that you're responsible to get it. But to change your reality, it requires for you to change yourself, and that can take a lot of time. That can feel extremely discouraging to think about all the ways that you need to change and how long it's going to take. But what if there was another way? What if I told you that you can instantly change into your highest self right now? Would you believe me? I am here to tell you that there is a way for you to bypass time and instantly change into the best version of yourself. And I have proof. Beyonce has done it. Kobe Bryant has done it. Martin Luther King has done it. And you know who else has done it? I have. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Bianca St. George, and I'm a professional soccer player. And to get to the top 1% of my career, to be a professional athlete where soccer is the most competitive and practiced sport in the world, I have done the same thing that those three have done. And once you understand the mechanism behind doing this, you can apply it to any other areas of your life. I have done it to be a good public speaker. I have done it to become a straight A student. And I have also done it in my dating life. And I'm not comparing myself like I'm at their level. I'm just saying that me, Beyonce, Kobe, MLK, we were all ordinary people that found a way to become extraordinary in our craft. And it's all by following this formula. And I am here to teach you what that is so that you can then tap into your highest potential and then live the dream life that you've always wanted to have. So how did we do it? It's by creating an alter ego. So for the remaining of the video, I'm going to tell you what is an alter ego, why create one, and how it works, but that will take a small fraction of the video. Most of it will be on the 5-step formula on how to create your own alter ego. And that way you will know how to tap in your current highest potential. So let's get into it. What is an alter ego? An alter ego is a psychological tool. If you think about the common advice that you hear in the self-improvement world on how to change yourself, they usually say it's to change your behavior. And I'm one person that says that. It is true. If you want to change who you are, you start acting differently. So then you give yourself proof over time that you are this new type of person. For example, if you want to be a fitness person, a health person, a gym rat, just show up at the gym every single day, so then you start changing your identity. But with an alter ego, we kind of go reverse of that. We tackle the psychology first. We go straight into the identity. We change that immediately, so then you start behaving as your new identity. This alter ego matches your ideal self. It's this persona that you create that embodies the qualities that you want to have for you to succeed in a specific area of your life. Let me give you an example. Before Beyonce was Beyonce, she used to be a part of a band called Destiny's Child with other performers and other women. But when she decided to leave the band so she could pursue her solo career, although she was extremely talented, she was very shy. But she knew that if she wanted to thrive, she couldn't be this shy person stepping on stage. So she created this alter ego, Sasha Fierce. That version of herself was fearless and confident, and it was exactly what she needed for her to start her full-blown successful career. But what you have to understand is that that persona, that alter ego, is someone that you always have wanted to be, but you also already are. Beyonce, even though she tapped into Sasha Fierce, she was still Beyonce. But Sasha Fierce allowed her to become Beyonce at its full potential. So right now, when you create your alter ego, it is still you. It's just the version of yourself that you haven't been able to express right now because you're holding so many negative limiting beliefs. So is it fake it till you make it? No, because that alter ego is you. It's the most natural, authentic version of yourself. Just think about shy people. Are they really shy? When you talk to them, usually they'll say, well, when I'm around people I'm comfortable with, I'm pretty goofy, I'm funny, I'm laid back, like I feel very comfortable. So those people aren't shy around the right people. So does that make them a shy person? Are they really just a shy and quiet person? Or are they just used to naturally hide who they really are? This alter ego basically gives you the permission to be your most authentic self. So I think that I've explained basically why you should create an alter ego. It's for you to finally express those characteristics that you're afraid to show, that you're afraid to embody for whatever reason. Now, why should you create an alter ego? Well, first of all, I know that you want to change because you're on your self-improvement journey and you're always looking to evolve and become a better version of yourself. And that alter ego will allow you to express those characteristics like I've just mentioned before. But this also is such an amazing way for you to accelerate your change. We don't have that much time to waste. Why not create an alter ego so you can make progress faster? I'm so glad you're still listening to this video because that means that you're thinking about it and you're like, wait, this can actually change my life, and it will. So I'm super proud of you for that. But finally, I think creating an alter ego is something that you need because it allows you to finally become the impactful leader that you're meant to be. And maybe you're like, whoa, I did not expect to be a leader, but you are. When you take ownership of your life, you naturally become a leader by example because you're setting a standard for other people to elevate themselves. That makes you a leader. That makes you someone that is inspiring. That makes you a role model. And it doesn't have to be someone like me that comes in online and like tries to lead you. You can be a leader in your community, around your friends, for your family members, for people that you love. So you being able to tap into your highest version of yourself is bigger than you. It's for all the people that you can impact. So I really hope that you have bought into creating an alter ego. And if you want to know how this works, like what is the mechanism behind the alter ego effect, I'm not going to go through it in this video actually. But what I wanted to give you was the 2 books that really explains how this works. The first one is Psycho-Cybernetics. This one talks about the self-image and how you view yourself dictates how you act. So if you tackle your self-image first through visualization, you can actually change who you are and change your behavior and then change your reality. And then the other book is the alter ego effect. And that one is basically what I'm explaining in this video, and the formula is based off that book. So if you're interested in reading and understanding more, I would suggest those 2 books. Now, before I get into the 5-step process, I want you to realize that you might be already kind of doing a version of the alter ego without even you knowing. At least that was a lot the case for me, and I have seen it firsthand happen to my brother recently. So my brother, he went to play golf the other day. He was an athlete, but he's not a golfer. So when he started golfing, if you're an athlete and you golf, you're really humbled very quick because you realize that it doesn't matter how good you are at your sport. When you play golf, you're a rookie, no matter what your experience is. So my brother was starting to beat himself up and being so upset that he was so bad at it. But then he shifted his mindset and thought, what would a golfer do? What would a pro golfer do to approach the situation right now? That shifted his mindset for him to start playing differently. So instead of focusing on how bad he was, on how crooked he felt, or all the excuses that you come up with in golf, he started focusing on being a problem solver. What can I do different? How can I move my hips differently? How can I change my shoulders, my chin to make sure I hit the ball? He started looking at the game differently because he tapped into the mindset of being a pro golfer. And you know what? He played the best game of golf he's ever played before. He wasn't an actual pro, and his skill set didn't just magically appear. He was always that good. It's just that his limiting beliefs and his negative self-talk was inhibiting him to become the best version of himself in that moment. Now let's go into the 5-step formula for you to create your alter ego, because we're going to be intentional to create one that fits in the area of your life that you want to see yourself succeed. Now, step 1, what are your ordinary world traits? So I want to view yourself as having an ordinary world and an extraordinary world. And if you look at your ordinary world, this is the world where you have tons of problems that are holding you back from being a successful person. So identify some of the pains that you have, some traits that you associate to yourself that aren't helping you. For example, you might struggle with procrastination, fear of failure, quitting everything you start, having low confidence. You have to answer the question, what is something I want to change about myself that if that was removed, it would allow me to succeed? And this is not for you to start feeling bad for yourself. This is simply for the purpose to raise self-awareness. Because how can you change yourself into something else if you don't even know what you're changing first? You have to be looking at yourself like you're an experiment. Don't feel bad for thinking a certain way about yourself, because just understand, you're going to be a better person. You're going to evolve. You're going to be extraordinary. So just look at yourself right now as this is the person I am in my ordinary world where everybody else is. But if I want to step into the extraordinary one, I need to know where I'm starting. With every step of the way, I'm going to give you a case study. So let's study Kobe Bryant. He was one of my role models. I have always looked up to him. I adore his mentality, and I am still devastated by his death in 2020. So RIP Kobe. But thank you for teaching me so many things, and I'm so excited to share with you his story with the alter ego. Kobe wanted to be the GOAT in basketball, but to become a GOAT, he understood that he needed to create a separation between his personal life and his professional life. So for him, he started identifying his ordinary world traits as someone that was emotional, quick-tempered, distracted, uncertain, and overwhelmed, all of which wouldn't help him become the greatest of all time. Now let's step into step 2. Step 2, as you can guess, is to identify what are your extraordinary world traits. So I want you to start thinking about that version of yourself that you're trying to become. Be specific. How would they behave? What would be their posture? How would they walk? Would they be crippled, all small, or would they stand tall? Would they make eye contact, or would they look away? Would they smile? Would they feel light on their feet? How would they dress? What would they look like? Would they look fit? Would they look quick? Would they look calm? What do they believe in? How would they speak? And also, what are their values? So I want you to take the time to answer these questions because you want to be clear about who is this version that you're trying to become. Kobe did the exact same thing. So for him, in his extraordinary world, he was someone that was mentally tough and focused. He was aggressive and assertive. He was resilient and perseverant. He wanted to leave a legacy. He wanted to inspire others. He was someone that was intense. And he lived by the mantra, hard work outweighs talent. Every time. I get chills to think about that because he literally lived that truth. Now, step 3 would be to identify who is your spirit animal. And I use spirit animal, but it doesn't have to be an actual animal. I want you to think about things or people that inspire you. They could be real, they could be fiction people, they could be people you know or don't know, they could be dead or alive, they could be an actual animal, they could also be a made-up character from your imagination, and they can also be symbols, elements, or concepts such as stars, trees, thunder. But ultimately, be careful. You need to pick wisely because that spirit animal that you identify with should give you the emotional connection to your alter ego. It symbolizes the qualities, the characteristics, and the traits that your alter ego's embodying. So if you're familiar with my private community on Skool, you know that our spirit animal is the gorilla. Gorillas are known to be strong, intelligent, but also very gentle, which is exactly the type of people we are in my community. They also have strong social bonds, which is what we want. We want to be tight-knit. And gorillas are also endangered, which is also kind of representative in our community because we want to make sure that we reach our potential and we don't let it die and go extinct. I know it sounds very pushed and abstract, but that's kind of how spirit animals work. You can make it the meaning that you want it to. So as long as you have this emotional connection that can invoke these superpowers, you know that you're doing a good job picking your spirit animal. For Kobe, his spirit animal was inspired by a character, Black Mamba, in the movie Kill Bill that was directed by Tarantino. And the Black Mamba in the movie was described as this deadly, agile, and relentless assassin. So Kobe, when he saw that movie, he identified with the characteristics of the Black Mamba, which was the snake, and it is also known for its speed, aggression, and lethal strike. So all of that spoke to him, and he decided to identify his alter ego as the Black Mamba. How cool is that? So play with it. Think about what inspires you, and then use that as your spirit animal. Now, step 4 is to name your alter ego. And again, this should also give you an emotional connection to evoke the superpowers of your alter ego. For Kobe, it was easy. He just took Black Mamba like the movie. But you can make up the name for yourself. Here are some ideas to find a name. You could use a name generator. So there are online tools that help you literally design your alter ego name by using a mix of different themes such as fantasy and superheroes. So they can really give you interesting combinations. Make sure that when you pick a name, you think about how it sounds and how it flows. Is it easily rolling off the tongue? Is it memorable to you? You can also look up meanings behind a certain name to see what it says and maybe find connection to the root of the name. Sometimes a name can have a historical or cultural significance that really adds some depth and resonance to your alter ego. You can also use a foreign language to really give you some sort of inspiration, because I know that because I have multiple alter egos, one of them is the beautiful Bia. So that is when I want to tap in my most feminine energy. And Bia is basically short for Bianca, but Bia also has a very popular background in Brazil. Like Bia is a very popular name there. And when I think of Brazilians, I think of them very cheeky, very beautiful, just like feminine woman. So I like beautiful Bia for that reason. It has this foreign language background. And just make sure that you experiment and see what feels right, because there's no right or wrong. This only needs to feel good for you. And if you're comfortable, you can ask for feedback to see if people can give you inspiration or perspectives. So when I wanted to tap into my highest athlete, it was by naming my alter ego Notorious BSG. And it was cool because that's something that got changed midway through my career, because when I was playing in Chicago, the fans would call me Notorious BSG. And I was like, wow, that really resonates with me. So I completely changed the name for my alter ego. So it's okay to change over time because you do evolve. But whatever makes sense to you is going to be perfect. Beyonce was Sasha Fierce. That's how she named it. Now, the last step to the formula is to have a trigger that will activate your alter ego. Because right now, remember, you have an ordinary world and your extraordinary world. And you need some sort of trigger that will allow you to enter from one to the other. You need a trigger because it gives you a psychological cue that helps shift your mindset from your everyday life to when you're going into high performance. And it's not like you're gonna always need a trigger, because Beyonce nowadays, she doesn't need to be Sasha Fierce anymore. She has literally embodied Sasha Fierce fully, that she just is who she is when she enters the stage. But when you're just starting to change who you are, it's a little bit more uncomfortable. So you need something that will be a clear distinction between your normal life and your extraordinary life. So you need a trigger such as a physical object. That's a good example. So Martin Luther King, he wanted to be seen as someone that was warm, but also had competence. He wanted to be trusted. He wanted people to look up to him. So he would wear glasses during his speech. He didn't even need glasses, but he did wear them because that would allow him to embody his alter ego. There are other ways that you can also use physical triggers, such as a lip gloss maybe that you wear, that you're like, when I put this on, this is the type of version I am. A specific clothes, a certain color that you wear. Maybe if you wear all black, you know that you're tapping into it. Or maybe a signature scent. If you put a certain cologne or perfume, you're like, okay, this is who I'm meant to be right now. There's also other triggers such as mantras or affirmations. So that could be like a saying like, just do it, or I am unstoppable, or I release the dragon. And I know it sounds silly, but whatever speaks to you is exactly what you need. If something feels right, if there's a certain word, if there's a certain thing that just clicks and allows you to be like, yes, I am activating my alter ego, that's perfect. Okay, don't cringe yourself out. You know what feels right. And then finally, a last type of gesture is a physical one. So it could be like touching a totem, like you could have a special coin that you keep in your pocket. If you have that, you are that type of person. Or you could be striking a pose, like a power pose right before you present. Or maybe you could touch yourself in front of a mirror, like you touch your hand and that just activates something for you. So your trigger needs to be exclusive to the alter ego. You can't just wear your gloss for your alter ego and then wear your gloss on your everyday life. Like it has to be something that is just specific to that. So then you really have a click in your brain that tells you to switch on. And you'll see when you allow yourself to be that type of person, you don't feel this resistance to change into that, because it's almost like you're playing this game. It's almost like it's okay to be that version because that's not quite you yet. Like if you mess up, that wasn't really you. But you'll realize that you becoming or trying that person, it feels scary and it feels like you're going to fail in your mind before you do it. But when you do it, good things happen. Literally, the only times that bad things happen to you is when you sell yourself short, is when you let your limiting beliefs, your negative self-talk take over who you are. And you don't have to tap into your alter ego in the most intense moment. Like for example, I didn't have to be Notorious BSG for the first time during my game where I had to perform. I would do it during trainings. I would do it when I would go to the gym. I would do it when I was training by myself on the field. Find smaller ways that you can practice it because you want to get comfortable tapping into your alter ego. You don't have to like go out in the most high pressure environment for the first time. Like everything in life takes a little bit of practice to be good at it. So find little ways, even when you go grocery shopping, even when you go on a walk, like find small moments in your life that you can practice being that version of yourself and see how that makes you feel. Think about that spirit animal that embodies those qualities. Activate who you are with whatever trigger you have, and then just go out into the world and see how your reality change. So to summarize, you need to identify the traits of your ordinary world, list the traits of your extraordinary world, choose your spirit animal, name your alter ego, and pick your trigger. And then just practice it until literally it becomes who you are. If you've made it this far into the video and you have cool ideas, I would love to know what you name your alter ego or what your spirit animal is. I love seeing the range of people's creativity with that. It's so awesome. So if you're interested in being in a like-minded community, please come to our community on Skool, where we do challenges and we find ways to evolve, not only as individuals, but as a community. It's amazing. So I hope I see you there. And you can also sign up in my second link in my description for the newsletter. But on this note, I really hope that you feel confident that you can change your life in an instant, and it is never too late to take ownership of your life. You will achieve your dream life once you decide that it's yours to grab. I hope you're taking initiative to create your alter ego and then become the leader that you're meant to be. Lead your life so then you can lead others. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in a new video. Mwah.